Good day everyone, and welcome to Deltascape version 3. Following our victory against the abomination Catastrophe, we set our sights upon the next battle in Omega's test world, and awaiting before us is the Queen of Dimension Castle, Halicarnassus. In Deltascape's most unique encounter yet, Halicarnassus will put players' wits to test. Answer correctly, and you shall be rewarded. Fall short, however, and you will be punished. While most of our mechanics are telegraphed and provide enough time for reaction on their own, it's important to go over the more confusing and unintuitive aspects of the fight. Firstly, we have Ribbit, an ability that targets a random party member with a wide cone, transforming all players struck into frogs. While this mechanic should be avoided initially, make sure to keep it in mind as we will be using it to our advantage at a later point. Throughout the fight, Halicarnassus will execute Spellblade Holy, an ability that combines a variety of party stacking or spreading mechanics. Party members should quickly reposition themselves according to the types of markers given, to help mitigate the incoming damage. Players should also watch out for Spellblade Fire, a donut-shaped AoE where safe zones can be found at the very center or far away from the boss. As the fight progresses, Halicarnassus will introduce her signature mechanic, the Playing Field, covering the central tiles of the arena in very familiar symbols. All players should split into their respective tiles, according to their job roles, namely tanks, damage dealers, and healers. However, Halicarnassus will attempt to throw off the party by executing a rogue ribbit as players search for their tiles. Any transformed players will not meet the requirements of the role-specific tiles, and will take severe damage as punishment. Alternatively, Halicarnassus will cover the central tiles in frog-shaped symbols. In this case, players should get struck by Ribbit intentionally, in order to meet the tile requirement. After playing along with her mind games, Halicarnassus will proceed to change the layout of the arena. While in this stage, the mechanic the Queen's Waltz behaves differently, forming spikes in all earth tiles, leaving only the blue-colored squares as safe zones. Also during this phase, Halicarnassus will call upon a Great Dragon, which should be quickly picked up by a tank and faced away from the rest of the party, as it hits for a significant amount of damage and will often cleave its target. And finally, the last mechanic players need to keep an eye out for is Mind Jack, an ability that forces players to move in a specific direction for several seconds, and serves to put the party out of position. At a later point, Halicarnassus will also combine this mechanic with Spellblade Holy. Players need to ensure they are all facing the same direction, usually the boss herself, so that formation is not broken during the march. While not technically part of the combat, Halicarnassus will eventually partake in her afternoon tea and force players into an alternate dimension. Any party members that find their way through the maze in a timely fashion will be rewarded with damage up and haste up buffs upon returning, at which point her regular mechanics will resume. Pay close attention to the arena and be ready to execute multiple mechanics in different combinations throughout the encounter. Show Halicarnassus you've grown tired of her mind games, and get ready to move on to version 4 of Deltascape.